Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about transition periods. Transition periods are 1 to 3 week periods in one's life for reflection, meditation, analyzation of what came before, what's happening now, and focusing all efforts, energy, and attention on where you want to go next. So, why this episode is so much fun to record right now is that it is the beginning of March, and I just finished up a winter in Philly, and I'm still living in Philly, but physically I'm home. I'm back in my hometown. It's spring break. I'm in my final semester of university, and I'm welcoming in the spring weather. Just yesterday, it was beautiful out. Absolutely beautiful. And one of the many walks that I went on yesterday, I was having a phone call with my friend, and I was telling him that this was the period of life that I'm in, right? Nice warm sun. I'm walking outside with short sleeves. It really is a transition period. Physically, I'm going from cold winter, January, February, and now it's March, and it's starting to get warm out. And I'm on the East Coast of the United States. So it's starting to get warm. So physically, this is a transition period, literally. Mentally, because it's spring break, and because the season that I'm in of learning, of education, is formal education, it's the final semester, it actually is a transition period. It's spring break. A year ago, I was in Mexico getting hammered. Oh my gosh, that's crazy to think about. Had I had this understanding of what a transition period is back then, maybe I'd be a lot better off now. But that's in the past, and that doesn't matter. So, literally speaking, when it comes to formal education, I am in a transition period. It's spring break. It's the middle of a semester. Now it's the final half of Evan Senior's university career. It's crazy to think about how far I've come and how far I've yet to go in education alone. But my goodness, college has been one of the weirdest experiences of my entire life. And I can't come to that understanding if I don't take the time in a transition period to reflect on that. So physically, warm weather, back in my hometown, transition period. Mentally, when it comes to gaining knowledge and gaining wisdom, I am in a transition period. It's spring break right now, and I'm back home in my hometown. Spiritually, if one knows who Evan is, he's been going on this journey of spiritual enlightenment for quite some time now, and it is my driving purpose to fully, absolutely, and wholeheartedly partake in the shift, a second great awakening. If you didn't know this already, whether you're listening and or watching, we're in a second great awakening. We're in another renaissance. These cycles happen every 250 years. So I'm using this transition period as a time to realign myself with my higher calling, because I feel like I've been distracted as of late. With work, with school. And that'll happen living in an urban environment. Obviously at home, while I have to put in a lot of effort to grow, I'm not really growing because there's a lot of old energy around here. And, when I'm back in the city, I'm living by myself, taking care of an apartment by myself, paying for everything by myself, which is what I still do here. I still cook for myself, I still do this all by myself, but, I have that understanding that this isn't my house, this is my mother's house. So there's a certain old energy here that, I'm not spiritually growing unless I put a lot of effort into that practice, the meditations and like the breath work and really silencing my thoughts in order to hear that higher calling. So that's another practice that I'm using this transition period for, is to slow down. Because in the physical realm, things move really slow. I say this time and time again. And to go against that, to try to rush, financial gains, to try to rush a physical body that I desire for, to try and rush feeling totally at peace with my life, is to force it. And I'm not trying to force it. I'm trying to go along with the seasons. And this is a season of transition, right? Going from winter to spring. Remember the video, understand what season you're in? There's physically understanding what season you're in, but mentally and spiritually as well. This is honestly part 2. When you enter into a transition period, you really, really have to slow your time. And instead of looking at time as 24 hours in a day, you understand that time is creation. You create your time. And that's what's so beautiful about a transition period. You can actually create your time. So, with that being said, once you find yourself in a transition period, slow down. I encourage you to slow down. Because in order to understand where you want to go, you must first realize where you are now. Because future goals, dreams, and desires, they're all created in the now. Which is why a transition period is so beautiful. Because then you can take a step back, see where you are now, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, etc., and then reevaluate where you want to be in the future. Remember, this future is created in the now. That's why we have jobs, to earn money. That's why we do what we do, because we're all creating a better life for the future. But that happens in the now. And transition periods going from season to season are great opportunities to realign, if you will. So that's simply what a transition period is. It's a time for realignment. So use it for just that. I affirm that this resonated with you. This was an episode on transition periods and realignment. I love you very much. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.